one right now, and after a stomp of a game last time from YUBI, these teams are right back to even.
Just like that. And oh wow, so YUBI gonna leave the Silas open for FEC. So are they gonna take it up here? No, they're gonna take the Shogath first off.
Yeah, Shogath up, and also on the other side, the Wukong has been left up this time. The Corki ban coming through instead. So I'm expecting we'll see an early Wukong. There it is. Easy for YUBI. It's something they always have Freelancer on. Every time
just like that.
Just pull him right back in.
Just like that. It's time to return to Monkey. And returning to 2 ultimates. Because that is Wukong's favorite pastime.
Indeed it is. And I want to point out, though, Falcon grabbing the Cho'Gath first here. This series has been very much about Cho'Gath every game. Whoever gets the Cho'Gath has been victorious. Maybe not because of the Cho'Gath, except for the last game, but so far it's he who controls the Cho'Gath controls this game. So Falcon looking strong right now. We'll have to see what YUBI grabs here, and it's gonna be a Nocturne. Yeah.
Okay, now because of the Nocturne pickup, we could see some interesting stuff from YUBI. Nocturne could be played mid, could still be played jungle. Doubt it's going to be top because we all know that Freelancer's very much a Wukong enthusiast. There's Shauna going to be picked up here, and if Camel Basil doesn't pick up the Silas, I'm going to be very surprised.
Yeah, I would expect to see him grab it here. If not, it's most certainly going to get banned. But will Falcon decide to go through with it and let their jungle pool get pinched a bit more? We'll have to see what Camel Basil grabs, and drumroll.
Alright, here we are.
This drumroll might have been too early. It's a Silas.
It's a Silas. There it is. Yeah, there's no way that Camel Basil Silas is going to be left open and then not picked through 2 rotations. The Tristana being picked up here is pretty big. It means that Chef doesn't have Tristana to play with, but also means that if YUBI want to, they could pick up... Oh, they're going to be picking up the Galio, so they're going to leave their bot lane relatively open. Yeah, and Civillock's been playing a massively effective Galio here. And, Camel Basil Silas has always been scary and one of their most picked champions in the league, but... Civillock's Galio has also been like one of the most commonly banned champions against YUBI.
Yeah, it's been pretty scary whenever he gets a hold of it, just easily allowing his team to turn any fight number. It's just kind of like that Shen in the first game. It's allowing you to switch, just like turn numbers in a fight just almost instantaneously. So
yeah, and with this kind of a composition, I kind of want to see a Samira Rel from YUBI here if we can get that kind of a pickup. But, we're going to see the Ivern ban, the Alistar ban, so we're not going to see, like a Samira Alistar. But the Samira is still definitely going to be online despite the Draven takeaway. Kind of surprised there because I'm not sure if Jeff really plays Draven. But right now we got some kind of scary team compositions.
Yeah, I don't think of him as a Draven player. I think of him as someone playing something more like Sivir, or even even Caitlyn. I think, or Vayne. I think we've seen him play a bit of Vayne too.
We've seen the Vayne every once in a while. The Jinx once.
Yeah,
I would love to see a Samira here.
I could see that, but it could also be scary. You don't want to give that over to Silas, and you also you got to be a little bit careful, especially with a Tristana. There could just push you right out if you're not careful and don't time your W right. But it's going to be the Sivir, actually, it looks like, if this locks in.
Interesting pickup. No, Silas actually doesn't do all that much damage with Samira ulti just because of the way how her passive functions.
That's fair.
But I think genuinely, I would have preferred the Samira, but we're going to be seeing the Lethality Sivir coming out from Jeff God Gamer. Very, very common pick from Jeff here. Meanwhile, the jungle is still available. We're going to see the Trundle. Honestly, not too certain how good the Trundle is here. Doubt that's going to be a Trundle support. It's been quite a while since we've seen that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an odd pick. There's really not much tankiness on the side of YUBI. There's no big tank for you to suck all the stats up and become like a second tank for your team. Rakan looking to be the support pick here, so a lot of engage for YUBI. But yeah, the Trundle feels weird as a pick. I I'm not sure if that's. I mean, I guess he steals some AD with his Q, so he could steal.
He's gonna steal the stats from Civillock when Civillock procs Aftershock. But I just don't feel like Trundle's a good enough pick that it's like a straight up, counter pick here. I don't really know. It doesn't mean that it's going to be hard for Freelancer to run TP Ignite, though.
Yeah, and both these teams leaving support to the last pick. Kind of surprising, we don't really see that often. YUBI going to grab the Leona. So just a big team fight comp. This is a team that's looking to dive on a team fight and just quickly wipe out a target and then just turn it into a chase with a Sivir ult. Try to chase these guys down. Looking at these comps right now, who are you kind of putting favor towards? I personally think FEC's comp looks the strongest, but that Trundle has me with a little bit of doubt.
Honestly, I don't really know who necessarily has the better one. I just know that whoever gets first blood is going to raffle stomp the rest of the game. Like, that's probably how this is going to turn out. And YUBI has had some very good early macro, so let's see how this goes on the Rift.
Yeah, let's just see how it goes. As we get into the game, game number 3, who's going to take the lead in this series, put themselves on match point, FEC or YUBI? See how this gets off under the way. FEC is starting it off looking like they're going to go for an early invade. Freelance hasn't spotted anything yet. He's going to spot it now, though. He is on the run. Run, little Wukong, run. And Utility Monster spots them, too. So the entire enemy team has been spotted out. Utility Monster going to try to get out of here. Wild West Wild doesn't have his pillar, though, so he's not going to try to stop him there to get a gank. They're just kind of getting some vision down to keep track of this Nocturne.
That's an Aftershock Trundle.
So it's going to be tank. That's what? He only has 1 CC, so that kind of surprises me. It's just if you hit the pillar, that technically counts. It does proc Aftershock.
Give it to YUBI.
Yeah. That's a little bit of a head scratcher there. I guess they're going to try.
At the same time, though, Civillock has opted for the Ignite instead of the teleport, so it seems like we're going to definitely get a rolling death ball of a game here.
Yeah, doesn't want to really just come back to lane quickly. I think he thinks he can take it pretty safely. After all, Galio is pretty good into most mages, and he has quite a bit of range right here. As Camel Basil getting this started off early. The Q coming through from Civillock. Got to be careful for those dunks, though, if you're Camel Basil. They can hurt even at close range.
Yeah, but Galio is good into most mages. The thing is, like, Galio is one of the few mages who cannot really punish Sylas in lane. So it's going to be really rough for Civillock. And hopefully Utility Monster can make the difference here. I honestly think that there's going to be a lot of jungle pressure towards this mid lane.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a game of who can get the jungle pressure starting off first. Camel going in early, getting the hit under the tower. He's taking a big trade from Camel right there, though. Gets ignited. Camel going forward. Civillock maybe trying to get the kill here. Goes forward with the flash. The flash comes through from Camel Basil, but it doesn't matter. First blood to Civillock on the Galio.
So remember that part when I was saying that Galio can't really punish Sylas? Civillock's just gonna make me a liar.
Yeah, a big part of that I think was the turret. Like, Camel Basil went right under the turret that doesn't have W, so there's no way to get the heal. It's not level 3, you can't get the heal, and he got punished.
Yeah, and just like that, if you know what you're doing, I'd say put the entire farm on YUBI. I messed up and accidentally voted for FEC. But yeah, Brian's just gonna go right in here. Just gonna get a nice trade off.
Yeah, Beshi taking a bit of damage right there. They've rotated back, by the way. Beshi back on support as he goes in on the recombo. He's going out right away. Paytime going the W to get in. Wild West Wild trying to get the slowdown. Jeff God on the run. I don't think they're going to be able to pick anybody off right here. Jeff God getting a little bit of a trade back. And Beshi really low right now. The Nocturne is here. They're not anywhere near level 6 yet, so no need to worry about a dive. But that was kind of a weird engage. Just Beshi in and out so quickly.
Yeah, Wild West Wild gonna get a decent gank off in the bot lane, takes the Leona flash, doesn't get anything extra, but they could definitely go for another wraparound here. But they're putting in more pressure in this bot lane, making sure that they remember, hey, the way how we won the first game was making sure that bot lane couldn't just win for free. But, YUBI just gonna draw a Utility Monster down here, and they're looking to 3v3 over this crab.
Yeah, they're going for Wild West Wild. They're going to get the stun onto him. He is feared up. Wild West Wild getting super low. Beshi getting the knock up to help him get away. The flash out of Wild West Wild and the heal from Paytime to keep him alive. Jeff God trying to get a little bit more, but not quite enough. And Wild West Wild backs away. Good counter gank from Utility Monster. Seeing the Trundle sticking around in mid lane. I mean, in the bottom side jungle.
Yeah, and, Utility Monster going to go in and punish Wild West Wild. Not going to be able to get the Scuttle Crab, unfortunately, but it is what it is. He's going to take a flash and walk into the jungle, take the Raptors, making something happen in mid lane, perhaps. Now just going to walk around, get the Scuttle Crab, and probably path back to their own jungle.
Yeah, and I trade Scuttle for 2 summoners any day of the week. That's a good trade. Especially because you're going to have Prio on the next Scuttle. I don't think he's going to lose this to the Trundle at this point. But YUBI already off to a good start so far. And, if there's one champion that can scale as hard as Tristana, it's Sivir. Sivir scales so very, very hard as an AD carry, and especially into the late game. When you hit 6-item Sivir, it's just... you just start raffle stomping your way through fights. So quickly.
Crit Sivir is one of the few champions that could be said to have a 6-item power spike. Strangely enough, though, Jeff God has once again decided to opt for their decided to opt for their lethality Sivir, which they love a lot. Playing it in games where even it might not necessarily be optimal. But it's going to spike much earlier, so it's not quite going to have the same kind of scaling as the Tristana, but absolutely going to be doing the damage that Tristana can do in the early to mid.
Yeah, and that could help kind of ease that transition a bit. I mean, you could always, if you get enough of a lead and you get to 6 items and you still have a lot of gold in the game's not over, you could technically sell your stuff and start going towards Crit Sivir if you really wanted to. I don't think we'll get to that point in this game, but still, there's an option there. There's an option to help with the early game and the late game. And we'll have to see how Jeff God continues his build. As Freelance teleports back topside, trying to shove halves in. I think he's looking for a roam somewhere, trying to maybe see if he can come catch out this Trundle, but Trundle on the bot side right now. And Jeff God and Brian still yet to back so far. Both of them low on mana, still is a little low overall. Except, I guess Brian, he's got a lot on him, but Jeff God's still a little bit low. And Brian looking for something, goes in on to Paytime, roots him down. Beshi going to try to get the re-engage right there with the Q. The W looking for it, but Jeff God dissuades him right there. Q coming in from Paytime, and the shield from Beshi to kind of alleviate that damage. They do not, however, see the Nocturne coming through on the river.
Yeah, and YUBI are in a pretty weird position here because they want to see if they can get the priority for Dragon, but since neither of them have backed, they just do not have the ability to push out this wave at the same pace that Tristana will be able to.
Yeah, on the bright side, only Beshi is back so far, and he got a boot and a little trinket for mana, so not a lot of stat out of that that'll be useful in combat that can help them push a wave or anything. But keep them a little topped off on that side as they clear out the vision, and Utility Monster waiting right here, trying to find a gank somewhere, but
they're looking to make something happen top lane.
Yeah, I think they are. FEC is gonna go start this dragon though. There's the call from Mountain. Meanwhile, here comes the Nocturne. Halves is found out. He's gonna get feared up. He's gonna get out over the wall. Isn't gonna get found though. I'm not sure if the Nocturne's gonna ult after him, but is going to get out. Halves is going to be safe indeed, and that means the Dragon for free going over to FEC. It is just the first Drake. It is a Mountain Drake, but that's still starting that up. Ocean afterwards, so Cloud or Infernal on the board today for Soul.
Yeah, and as far as Soul goes, either of those would be incredibly, incredibly strong in this game for both teams. So the Dragon Stacking is going to be the name of the game. Actually going to do a little bit of trolling here. But Brian, more than happy to just smack him up, take that control ward right in front of the space. With level 6 to level 5, there's very little that Beshi can do in response.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for Beshi to really get any damage out there. You can just do a little bit of poking out at the Leona, but It's still a position right now. They have managed to keep the wave from crashing too hard into the turret. Try to reestablish some vision control. Jeff and Brian are level 6 though. Beshi hasn't hit it yet, so could be a little bit disadvantageous in a fight if they do manage to get a catch out right here. But these are hard targets to catch out for sure. They are super mobile between the Rakan and the Tristana. But now, topside roaming up here. Here comes Camel Basil looking for something. And he catches the ult for the Nocturne. He's going to activate it immediately and is not going to get anything else out of it. Just kind of dissuading them off of the Herald. They're going to pick this up away from YUBI, get themselves an objective on this map. Meanwhile, Civlock putting pressure on the mid lane with Brian. They're rotating over, trying to maybe grab this Trundle, but everyone just gets out right away. Everyone just kind of matching each other right now.
Yeah, and while YUBI had the early gold lead from the early first blood from Civlock, and their strong early laning phase in macro, strangely enough, Falcon are going to be the team taking the early objectives for the first time. So Falcon are in a significantly better position than they were in the last game, where YUBI was winning across the board in both macro and in laning.
Oh, most definitely. And right now, they're just going to use that little bit of less pressure to just kind of hold it and just take it nice and slow. You don't want to give up a lot of kills over the enemy team and let them start scaling. Like we said, we thought First Blood would just kind of snowball this game, but so far it hasn't. It's just a Galio. He's going tank, so he's not going to get too much of a lead going off that. He is putting a lot of pressure on this mid lane, however, and they're going to try to see if they can find a place somewhere. Right now, it looks like nowhere is just going to be just kind of back to farming. Everyone just kind of taking a nice, slow pace for themselves.
Makes me kind of want to take a little nap.
I know, right? It's one of those days. It gets late in the evening, and everything goes slow. I need action. I need something to get the juices flowing. It's like caffeine. I need that fight caffeine. And Camel and Civlock doing a little bit of that in the mid lane.
Yeah, doing a little bit of trading, but we got freaking wet noodle fights out here. At this point, it feels like you could rest up after a long day of work. By the fireplace, put on some nice hot cocoa, and watch YUBI versus FEC Game 3, because very little's happening here. Except Freelancer trying to go in on halves, but like I said, it's not really going to amount to too much yet.
Yeah, it's just going to be kind of just a little bit back and forth. Freelance can't really take a straight-up fight, but he can keep harassing at halves like this and get him low enough that he can maybe go in. He does have a lot of mana, but Beshi is here trying to make the big play, live up to his name.
At the same time, so's Utility Monster.
Yeah,
meanwhile, Yubi's making something happen mid.
Yeah, Camel manages to get the flash out of there. Brian also flashed use a flash for flash, but I think I'd rather see the mid laner with their flash still up than the support. Meanwhile, Freelance pushing the top side. Utility Monster does spot out Beshi, so they know he's here, and that's the call for Freelance to kind of just back off a bit. Going to clear out this vision, kind of just play a little safe right now.
Yeah, and really good roam up from Jeff God and Brian Sang. Getting a decent amount of plates off in the mid lane, and taking Camel Basil's flash out here. And they're in a good position to contest this Ocean Drag.
Yeah, Ocean Dragon going to be up in 30 seconds. It's time for Utility Monster to back. Try to see if he can finish an item off right here. But here comes the ult from Brian onto Paytime. Paytime getting out, but Freelance going to pick him up. Gets the kill with the double ult. The Wukong duty back on. Beshi goes in. Sorry, to try to get something going, but he's got a Trundle. He's not going to be a lot of damage, and that's the call to go straight for the dragon.
Yeah, Brian ended up deciding to go in at a very odd time, literally just as Utility Monster backs. But in the end, it's
Brian going back in onto Beshi. Here comes Utility Monster diving right in onto Camel, actually. The ult coming through from the Galio. They're picking up one. Beshi gets the ult in. Oh, and Camel picks up Utility Monster. But there goes the Rakan, turning it back around. The teleport coming through from halves. And now YUBI is on the run. They picked up one, but they lose their jungler for it, so they aren't able to directly chase onto this dragon. Paytime is here, though. They're going to have to be careful. Jeff got to be careful, but there is the slow. The ult coming through from Jeff God. They taunt up onto the Trundle. Brian going in. They lock up halves. Brian getting super low, though. Got to run away. Camel going to catch Shimarda on the side, but he is going to go
still
down.
Alive.
He is just barely, though, in the flash forward from Freelance. They pick him up. It's a double kill for YUBI. 2 kills across the board for another 1. They win the trade. They're going for the dragon, but Beshi going forward onto Civillock, and they get the charge onto him. Oh, going forward. Paytime looking for something. Doesn't manage to grab him, though, and he's going to have to back out. Freelance is still hanging around right there. Utility Monster is back. He is angry on this Nocturne, and they're going to have to be careful. Beshi going around the corner does manage to get a heal. Ooh, what a chaotic game. There's the wake-up call we needed for.
What a chaotic team fight. Like, the team fight just would not end.
That's the stuff we need. That's inject it right into my veins. That's the kind of stuff I love to see. And
yeah,
no one gets to the dragon. None at all.
Yeah, like, it feels like we're listening to a really relaxed and calm game, and all of a sudden it turns into a surprise symphony, and we're just getting team fight after team fight.
Yeah, it's just fight after fight. The conductor just doing a beautiful job with this symphony throughout this game. As now YUBI, they get their first dragon. It's the ocean. It's going to be Cloud Soul this game, so that'll be fun. I think that's actually a really good one for YUBI, especially with the Civ roll. It's going to accelerate that even faster.
Yeah, at the same time, Cloud Dragons reducing the cooldown for the side of YUBI also means that Sylas has more and more value in this game.
Indeed it does. Freelance getting on there. Ooh, Paytime gets caught, still gets stunned. The ult coming through, they managed to still hit him. Wow, just so many stuns right there, but Beshi on the backside. Camel looking for something. They're going on to Brian. Brian getting so low, he is going to fall. But wait, no, he's not. He's still alive. Utility Monster is here. He's gonna get the fear onto him. Jeff God manages to grab Basil. It's literally putting the fear of God on somebody. A double kill for Jeff God onto the Tristana there with a flash Q. And YUBI turns what looked like a bad situation good. Grabbing 2 kills, grabbing the mid turret, maybe grabbing another right here. Civillock going to grab that one on the bottom side. Beshi maybe seeing if he can get a stun here. Misses the heal. Maybe doesn't want to go in right now. Doesn't have the shield. And YUBI just pops open the game right there.
Jeez. Like when I said that the first kill was going to turn into a raffle stomp for the rest of the game, it feels like it wasn't just the first kill, it was just the
is he going to stop the teleport? He is not. Camel is going to finish it. It looks like he might charge now. Civillock is going to get out.
Yeah, honestly, I think Civillock allowing the TP to go through is for the better, because that means that now Camel Basil is on the bot side of the map. Civillock's already looking to back, and now they're in a better position to contest this Herald.
Yeah, and that Herald could be really useful. They could finally knock down that last outer turret on the top side. Hasn't really gotten much pressure on it because, you know, it's Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath's hard to kind of push through. But still, good positioning right now. A 4,000 gold lead almost for YUBI. 17 minutes into the game. Not as big as the last one, but still a good position to be in, especially with the kills where they're going. You got him on Wukong. You got him on this Gallia, which, you know, he's going to be your tank, so you kind of need that. And you got him on the Sivir. So the Sivir's going to hit that power spike really quickly.
Yeah, and one of the big things here is that, you know, Civillock...
hang on, Brian looking for something onto Wild West. Wild trying to root him up. The charm coming through from Beshi, trying to save his teammate. He might cost him his life, though, just bouncing around. Ult coming through. They do get a slow down. The flash Q onto Beshi. They're locking him up. He is going to fall, though. He's still going to live. No, he's not. Civillock picks him up, goes on a rampage.
Oh boy, and Beshi had played that fight so well, charming up everyone, and then what seemed like he was getting out. And then Brian, with a well-timed E, manages to catch him at the very end. And just as Beshi looks like he's about to get out, Civillock going to come in and make sure that everyone gets a little bit of that assist gold.
Yeah, and that's some nice assist gold. It's going to make this much easier to take out the Herald. There isn't really any engage now on the side of FEC. They're going to get pushed in on this top turret. Herald's going to go down. I think they're going to try to dive this. Freelance going forward, trying to go onto halves. Gets him with one. Hits him with the ult. Brian going forward, trying to lock him up. He's going to root him in place. Civillock comes in with the taunt. They're just going to lock him down, and Civillock goes unstoppable. Picks up another kill for himself. They're going to go for this outer turret, too. Utility Monster is here with the Herald. I think you save it at this point. I think you don't drop it. It's already so low. He is going to do just that. You save it for this next one. You try to push down this inner turret.
Yeah, and just like that, you know, it's become the Civillock show. And for some reason, you know, I was going to say Cho'Gath is able to just build armor, and it's going to be very hard for the enemy team to really do much about it. But Civillock being 5-0 means that despite building full tank, Civillock's doing so much damage that Chogi just cannot ignore it.
Yeah, and they're going to crack this base home, and they manage to grab one. The ult coming through. They go in onto Beshi. Beshi gets the ult down, but he's going to go down right away. Civillock picks up the kill. They're trying to run away. They're trying to get something. The ult from the Nocturne, trying to buy them the escape they need, and there is the Silver ult dropping right now. It is the hunt from FEC. They're trying to get something out of this. While there. Halves goes forward, gets the flash in, the taunt from Civillock. They're still trying to disengage on this fight, but Paytom on the side getting so low. Halves managed to grab a kill on the utility monster. Jeff God doesn't get the kill on the side right there, but doesn't really need it. Halves is going to go down. Camel Basil looking for Sunny. He's going to go in onto Jeff God. Jeff God's going to fall, but down goes Paytime. Camel Basil on the side right there. Wild West being chased down by Freelance. The ult from Camel Basil to save his jungler, and now they're on the chase again. This is just a back and forth. It's like a tide just coming in and out.
Yeah, and just like that, we're getting team fight after team fight. And Falcon were in a really good position there because they just come back from base. They just bought all their gold. And while UB technically have, quite the gold lead right now, they weren't able to back. They weren't able to make use of the gold that they had just received. But Civillock going to be picking up the Demonic Embrace, going to be doing so much more magic damage that Cho'Gath cannot ignore, while also becoming significantly tankier.
Yeah, it looks like he's waiting to pick something up. He's still sitting in the base. I have a feeling he's just going to grab some AP. I thought he might try to grab his Medjai's. Mm-hmm. But still, that's if it makes it even more scary for FEC, I feel, because you come out even in a fight that your opponents shouldn't have any business of coming out even, and they were low on health. Mm-hmm. They didn't have much mana, but they still managed to. And the Brian ult grabbed by Camel right there. So Leona ult is on the table. They could maybe try to get a stun here. Freelance is looking around, gets the taunt forward, looking for sign, gets rooted in place. The ult from Leona is going to knock him down, but Jeff God grabs Beshi on the side. Yeah, Freelance trying to get out. The bomb's going to tick. Ooh, but the fruit saves his life. Meanwhile, back of the fight, Paytime grabs Brian right there. Civillock goes forward, looking for something. Half's getting low. They're trying to catch him. The flash forward. Jeff God manages to grab the kill. Civillock trying to grab utility monster going in on the Camel. Camel trying to run away. Paytime goes forward. What? Freelance grabs the kill. Camel Basil tries to grab something too, but he goes down. Jeff God grabs the kill. And make that 4 for 2 goes in favor of YUBI, and they're going to grab this Cloud Drake.
Okay, so let's break this down. So at the beginning of this fight, right, Jeff God starts it off with the Sivir ulti. Very, very, very strong move here. And right now, they're just looking, they're looking. And Freelancer goes invisible, Sivir ults in, they're looking to make something happen here. And then everyone on the side of Falcon just turns on Freelancer, but Freelancer gets out with just a little bit of health, and all of a sudden, YUBI is free hitting, and everyone is taking so much damage that it just does not matter. And Paytime is looking to get away here, jumps directly into the middle of the enemy team, and Camel Basil gonna pick up a kill on Utility Monster return, but at that point, you've lost the fight. You're just trying to pick up as much as you can in return.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get a reset there. Didn't think Freelance would come back, but Surprise Monkey comes back to slap. And now there goes the dragon. 2 dragons on the board for YUBI as they start to take command of this game. They are starting to run away with it again. We see what happens when YUBI grabs the lead. They tend to just do that. They tend to not let up, and they never let off the gas.
Yeah, and just like that, Freelancer reminding us why this Wukong is consistently banned away from him, and showing off just how strong of a laner he's been during the regular season.
Yeah, it's been very, very impressive this season. But really, I feel like that's the story of the entirety of UB. Every member of this team has stepped up when they've needed it. When something's been going wrong, someone will step up. If the bot lane's not doing well, Freelance steps up. If the entire team needs to make a play somewhere, Civillock's doing it. If the jungle needs to have control of the neutral objectives, or is just trying to get ganks going somewhere because they're losing pressure elsewhere, utility monsters on it. They're just making plays. Everyone, a member of this team, finds a way to step up, and even when they lose, it still feels like we saw earlier in the first game. It's close games. UB does not go silently into the night. They always go out swinging, kind of like a Rocky movie. And now Brian looking for halves, but not gonna chase them. The rest of his team isn't here. Utility monster now here though. Beshi trying to run away. There's the E from Brian, just short though. Halves manages to get out, but utility monster You know, if he finds that engage, he can basically annihilate target. And the ult,
Oh.
they manage to hit onto the Tristana. They go right in. Utility Monster hits it. Here comes the Galio ult. They knock it out. Beshi trying to buy some time, though, with his ultimate. But he is going to fall. No, he is still going to live. He goes down now, though. Civillock picks up the kill. There goes one onto the other. Paytime falls as well. It's just two members left of FEC. The Trundle's on the run, but this Troll is gonna go down. Troll Bridge is down. Down goes the inhibitor turret. Down goes the inhibitor. I think that's the call to end the game if you are YUBI. 20 seconds until an impactful respawn.
Yeah, and just like that, YUBI are gonna.
They're just gonna back off.
So they're just gonna take the 2 inhibs here. But like YUBI start that off. They're grouped up as 4. They have Utility Monster ultin, and Civillock ulting directly on top of that means that Falcon can't turn around for the counter engage, and Freelancer TPing in during the paranoia means they don't see the Wukong until it's too late, and he's already ulted twice into your backline.
Yeah, and it looked like even YUBI was surprised just that Paytime got hit in the center of that. That was a beautiful ult from Brian, just direct center almost onto the Tristana. And Beshi, he's trying his best. He's trying to ult. He's trying to get in there and just try to taunt everybody to try to stop the DPS coming through. But all that's ending up happening is just costing him his life. Sivir spell shields or Utility Monster if he's somehow managed to get caught spell shields. So they're not getting taunted up and they just shred right through him. He's a very squishy Rakan. He's only got Shirelias. He's got cooldown boots. He is not a tank. He will die at the tip of a hat. And now Baron is on the cards for YUBI. They're looking for something here. Trying to see if they can catch Beshi. Beshi got a run, got a blast plan out. Brian on the hunt, though. This Leona smells blood in the water.
Yeah, and I don't know. Right now, you know, the YUBI, they're looking at this Baron, and I don't think that there's much that Falcon can do in response. They're so far ahead in gold, and they're just going to run right in.
Falcon's looking for it. They're trying to run away. They get the charm. Beshi does. He's going to get taken out, though. There's the ultimate from the Nocturne. Looking for something. Looking to grab somebody. Going down right there. Jeff grab Bessie. They manage to grab Camel. They manage to grab Wild West. They're going to grab Half. They're going to grab Paytime. It's going to be an ace. That's going to be the game. You don't even need Baron when you just take him out like that. YUBI finds the fight. They find their second game, and they find themselves heading towards match point as they march it down mid.
Yeah, and YUBI looking just like the monsters we saw during the regular season right here.
Yes, there goes one Nexus turret. There goes another. There's nothing that's going to stop them. These things just go down like a hot knife through butter. Down goes the last one. Nexus is going to fall. No one's going to even respond time. Oh, I guess Beshi might, but he can't stop anything as YUBI puts themselves on match point.
Oh my god. You know, game 1 was a statement. Game 2 was a statement in return, and YUBI are having an amazing set, like looking out for them right here. Like they gave Camel Basil the Silas, and Civillock said, "Okay, I'll play Galio, who gets countered by Silas, into it and smash him anyway."
Yeah, just trying to show you want to play your main. Go right ahead. We'll still just kind of kick you in the jaw for it. We'll still give you the pain, and that Sivir damage. Monstrous this game. It felt really silent, but like that lethality, because there's so little armor on the side of FEC, it worked out so well.
Yeah, and that was such an amazing game from YUBI, and I'm hoping to see that we'll see Falcon return to, you know, crushing the bot lane, making something happen down there. That's going to be it from me. We'll have someone taking over on my end, but don't go anywhere because we're definitely going to have the fun rest of the series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting rest of the series. But with that, we're going to